So one of the problems that I see quite often is that a roofer will have their SEO or Google agency, and maybe that agency just does SEO, or they do SEO and Google ads, or they'll even worse have an agency for Google ads and then an agency for SEO, and then they'll have another agency for Facebook ads. And it's a hot mess is what it is. And it really prevents that roofing company from being able to dominate the market the way that they'd like to. I understand the urge to get more leads and the frustration with maybe an agency doesn't do Facebook as well. That's a real problem, right? And also, roofers that are just getting targeted on Facebook in a crazy way. You have a lady on Facebook that just harps about using females only in your ads, and she's really just a Facebook ads agency. And so I understand how splintering off to using multiple agencies happens, but I want to put something in your head, and that is a strategy called omnipresent targeting. And it's a strategy that only works when you use one agency, and it's highly effective to help you dominate your area to make it impossible for your competitors to compete against you. And that's what we're going to go in this lesson. I'm getting ready to minimize my face and put on a beautiful PowerPoint to help walk through this concept and how it takes someone from never hearing about your company to really only wanting to work with your roofing company because you've so won them over through omnipresent targeting. So by the end of this video, you'll understand exactly what omnipresent targeting is. You'll understand that it's not just a single click that wins that client, but it's building a relationship with your prospects through every stage of the funnel. And that's what allows you to show up on their doorstep for an estimate and basically have already sold the job before you've even met them in person. And by the end of the video, you're going to understand why this is the missing piece in your digital marketing strategy. But if we haven't met yet, my name is Preston, and we are Results Digital, and we are a roofing and exterior contractor digital marketing agency. We focus and specialize in helping roofers and exterior contractors grow their roofing businesses to multi-million-dollar empires so that they can accomplish their financial goals. We've already helped one roofer in Lake County, Florida, grow to multiple $1 million and have a $60 million private equity exit. And we would like to help your roofing company do the same exact thing. We only work with one roofer in an area so we can be loyal to them and to help them grow and accomplish their goals. If that sounds like something you're interested in, there's a link in the bio where you can book a strategy call with us. Now, on to the lesson. So, omnipresent targeting, what is it? Well, I believe it's how you can dominate your local area as a roofer. All right, and I'm going to go into exactly what it is and how it can help you. So, this is why most roofing marketing fails. A roofer will have an SEO company, a Google Ads company, a Facebook company. They'll have their videographer. They'll have someone that does their social posting for them. And it becomes, in essence, 3 agencies, 3 silos, 3 strategies, little to no coordination or communication between the agencies. You have the SEO company over here building their audiences, building their website data, their visitor data. Then you have your Google Ads company over here. Then you have your Facebook company over there. You have your social media guy. There's very little coordination because everyone is scared that the roofing owner is just going to go with whatever he likes the most. And if the SEO company shares data to help the Google Ads team or the Facebook Ads team do better, well, that Facebook agency, if they also do SEO or Google Ads, they're just going to hop in there and steal that business from them. So everyone's very siloed. They're very scared of working with the other agencies. And it does not work out to the benefit of the roofing owner nor his company. And because there's not a concerted effort, a harmonized, coordinated effort amongst the teams, in essence, what happens is when someone clicks over from Facebook ads, that person doesn't convert immediately and then they're gone forever. They're not being retargeted on Google at all. Or vice versa. They click over from Google or from SEO, whether it be an AI search or an organic Google search. They click over, they don't convert it immediately, and they're gone forever, never to be seen again on Facebook. So you pay for the click, but nothing's being shared, nothing's being built together. Well, that is what I think is the benefit of using one agency for all of your marketing. Because Google says that it takes about 500 touches to win a customer. It might be more or less in your specific location, but it takes roughly that. So most roofing companies, they'll have 3 to 5 touch points before they abandon a prospect forever. And the winner isn't necessarily the best roofer. It's just the one who shows up at the right place at the right time. And so omnipresent targeting seeks to resolve that. And you could define omnipresent targeting as basically every tracking pixel that you own goes on every single page. So if someone comes to your website through Facebook, that's going into a tracking system that shares that data with Google, with TikTok, with Microsoft, with whatever other platforms there are, and vice versa. So if someone comes to the website through Google, through an SEO search or an AI search, that data is being shared with Facebook. That data is being shared with YouTube. It's being shared with TikTok. And so on every single web page that you have, whether it's a landing page, a funnel, a squeeze page, or your full-blown public-facing website, your meta pixel goes on every single instance of that. Your TikTok pixel goes on every single instance. Your Google tag goes on every single instance. And then within those platforms, you're building audiences so that every visitor from any channel that enters in any method on any landing page, they enter into a retargeting pool simultaneously. And so that allows you to use these platforms how they were designed and optimized to work, because you become unavoidable at that point. Every dollar that you spend on ads is now able to be captured and used to follow someone until they actually convert into a customer. So the standard approach that I see, and I've been doing this for over a decade, right? So I've worked with other agencies, never liked doing it. They never like working with me, and I don't like working with them. And that's the way it rolls with agencies. There's a lot of pride. There's a lot of fear. Everyone's trying to protect their revenue. No one's thinking about the owner, because the owner's thinking about, hey, I just want to get leads through Facebook. I don't care who does it. I just want to get leads to Google. I don't care who does it. It's a very disjointed and disorganized mess. And so the standard setup that I typically see is that they'll have the meta pixel just on the Facebook pages. Same thing with the Google tag. It's only on the Google pages. Same thing with TikTok, so on and so forth. So those audiences become siloed to just that platform. And so someone clicks on Google, well, Meta never learns about that. In every agency, they only see partial data. And then what's the result? Well, prospects are going to slip through the gaps. Versus the omnipresent approach, where you have your pixels on every platform and on every landing page, squeeze page, website, so on and so forth. All the audiences are built from all the channels. So the platforms are sharing data. And every paid click, it earns a multi-platform reach, because all platforms are sharing the same data. So going back to what we said in a previous slide, if it takes 500 touch points to convert a customer, well then if you are tracking those customers in an omnipresent approach, you can accomplish that 500 touch point threshold a lot easier, because now all the platforms are sharing data. And so this is a cool visual. One click to every platform. Your prospect clicks on your ad, lands on the page. Doesn't matter what platform they click the ad on or what page they land on. All the platforms see it. And so if they click on a YouTube ad, well, when they scroll on Facebook, there you are. When they scroll on TikTok, there you are. When they read the news on a random news website, or they want to read about guns on a certain website, or they want to read about anti-guns on another website, the point is it doesn't matter where it is, right? It's just a high traffic website. There you are in the Google Display Network. So looking at this, someone clicks on your meta ad, right? Facebook, Instagram, doesn't matter. Somewhere on the meta platforms, right? Then they go to their favorite sports website. They're now going to see a banner ad. That's called the Google Display Network. They'll now see a banner ad on the Google Display Network. When they go to Google Maps, they'll now see you. When they go into their Gmail, they'll see you, because you're using the tracking that you've installed on all the websites to get that cross-platform effect. I've had my client text me before saying, hey, are we advertising on Pandora, that old music app that used to exist? I think everybody shifted over to Spotify now. And I said, no, we're not. But as it turns out, it was part of either Google's expanded network or Meta's expanded network. I forget what one it was. And they were seeing ads from my client on Pandora. Why? Well, because Pandora was selling ad space to Meta and Google. And so Meta or Google, I forget what one it is. And then because they clicked on some landing page, some ad, and went to some landing page, they were now being seen everywhere. It's like having a billboard every mile on your sit on your location's main interstate, right? Every location, we're over here in Houston, it's I-45, right? If you're in Southern California, it'd be I-5, or they call it the 5. If you're over in Orlando, it's I-4, right? Everyone's got that main highway. Well, what omnipresent targeting is like having a billboard every 1 mile in both directions, having a billboard for your company. And then they get off at the exit, and every mile that they go to their grocery store or to their home, there's a billboard on both sides of the highway. That's what omnipresent targeting is like. It doesn't matter where they are. Meta and Google have contracts with all these random websites, these random apps where you can show your ads. And so it just continues to touch the client and touch the client and touch the client. And it makes you feel a lot bigger than you are. Growing up in Orlando, there is this guy, John Morgan. I'm from Orlando. We live out in Houston now, north of Houston. But there's this guy, John Morgan. And man, I saw this guy's face on the billboard for all my life growing up, right? There's Morgan & Morgan, right on 436, right? And now I'm out here in Houston. He's got the largest law firm in the world. You go to New York, there's Morgan & Morgan. There's John Morgan. You go over to Houston, there's John Morgan with Morgan & Morgan. Anywhere in Florida. I mean, he's got a law office in almost every single major city. And that's, in essence, what omnipresent targeting is. No matter where you go, someone sees it. And you don't get that working with multiple agencies. That could kind of be its own video, but it does tie into this. You need to settle down with one agency that you trust, that you feel is going to do a good job for you. Because I've tried to coordinate this before, and it is a pain in the butt. Because the agencies don't want to work with me. Even when I have the owner's best interest at heart, the other agencies don't want to work with me, and they don't understand the importance of it. So think about omnipresent targeting, too, as you're touching people at all places along their buyer journey, right? It puts you at every phase, not just at phase 3, right? So understanding a marketing funnel is key here, right? People start the research phase, right? They see a roof leak. They know they got the letter from the insurance company. They know they have shingle problems. They know they have to sell the house and it's not going to pass inspection, right? There's a myriad of reasons, right? And so they enter into the research mode. These are cold audiences. They have no prior awareness of your brand, right? This is where you can start to target them. On YouTube ads, I can start to target people who are doing roofing research, right? So Google has a category for that. Google Ads is the platform through which you run YouTube ads. You can start to target people right there on that platform using YouTube ads when they're in the research phase. You can also do the same thing in a similar way on Facebook ads and slightly with TikTok ads. And this is where you can start to introduce your brand before they even start their search, right? Then they move into what I would call like the consideration phase. This might be middle of the funnel. This might be bottom of the funnel. It's kind of a blurry line, right? Like some marketers like to talk about it as if it's like very distinct lines. It's not. They're kind of blended. And this is where they may or may not have already visited your website or landing page. And if they do go to your website or landing page, right, because they're in the middle of doing research, maybe they see the YouTube ad, they click on it because you're targeting them at stage 1 where they're doing research, and they click over to your website. Well, now they just moved into what we would call a consideration phase. This is where we're going to start retargeting them. The second that they click over from a YouTube ad, a Facebook ad, a TikTok ad, or maybe an organic TikTok video, or maybe an organic LinkedIn posting, it doesn't matter, right? They're going to start getting display ads now, right? Everywhere they go, they're going to start seeing you on the display network, right? And am I expecting that for $5 or $10 a day on the display network that we're going to get 20 leads? No, but it's part of just the touch points on the people to pester them until they buy or die. They're going to start getting YouTube retargeting, Facebook retargeting, TikTok retargeting. You're basically following them everywhere they browse after that first visit. All right. Then you move into phase 3, the decision-making process. They're ready to hire. They're actively searching. They're ready to hire. This is where they search roofing company near me, roof replacement near me, roof estimate. Well, now that's where Google Ads is going to come in, Google search ads, Bing search ads. Bing search ads could really be its own little video because there is a place for it. This is where SEO or AI SEO, this is where maps and stuff like that come in, right? So you're basically you're there when they're ready to hire them. Well, guess what? If they've seen your ads over and over and over and over again, when it comes to the hiring phase and now you pop up, they've met you, right? And so you're going to be part of that. You're going to be part of their decision-making process. We also saw it with our client that we helped scale to sell. Their largest search campaign was their brand campaign. We had so hammered their area with, they're hitting like a 20 to 25 mile radius. And then right before they sold to private equity, they expanded to a second location. Well, we had been hitting that area for 2 years or 3 years, and their largest campaign was a brand campaign. People would search for them by brand name, and they'd come in and convert that way. Well, that didn't happen in a vacuum, right? Everywhere they looked online, or that they went online, they saw them. Then they would see the yard signs, and they would see the trucks, then they'd see the T-shirts, right? And it just became so ingrained in their mind, right? Just like that example I gave of Morgan & Morgan, right? So, decision 3, they're at the bottom of the funnel. So, this is this is what omnipresent targeting is looking to do. And again, the old adage of one agency versus multiple agencies. I think about that idiom, too many cooks spoil the stew. Multiple agencies, it just does not work. Your pixels don't cross platforms. They don't want to share audience between teams. Coordination becomes something that you now have to manage. And let me tell you something, I'm working with that right now on one client. I'm trying to reach out. I spent hours developing a strategy where all 3 agencies could work together. Nobody read it. Nobody got back to me. No one's working with us to help accomplish that for the client's own interest. So each team just optimizes its own silo, and then prospects are going to fall through the gap. And the reporting might look good, but the results are going to be a disappointment. And again, I would push for use one agency that can do it all for you, because you're going to get that coordinated effort. And this is exactly what we did with our client in Lake County, where we helped them to accomplish just that. We owned all of their marketing, their Google ads, their SEO, their YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok didn't exist at the time, but we owned every channel, every pixel, every audience, and we built one unified omnipresent strategy. And it was the omnipresent targeting that was a significant part of how we built their roofing company so that they could have a multi-million-dollar exit. So, do you want this built for your roofing company? We only work with one roofing company per market. We have a few slots open, and once you're in, you're it. You're the only date we're taking the prom. And we would love a chance to work with you and help grow your company. We grew this company from never having used a digital marketer to using all of our services, and they started off with $600 a month for SEO being too much. And by the time they exited, they were spending probably $40,000, $50,000 a month. They're also getting a multi-million dollar return on that. So if that's something that interests you, we would love a chance to work with you. There's a link in the description where you can fill out for a free strategy call. Let's get on the phone and talk, see if it works. And until next time, this is Results Digital out.